ideally, this red and blue team wants to respond accordingly and get hard counters to those Hydralisks and infantry units plus tanks. Both teams, though, have a decent diversity of units, so it should make for a pretty climactic first clash when these units do meet. At this point, though, yeah, we're just macroing up, making sure all of our expansions are as saturated as possible. When I say saturated, I just mean that there's you know, a bunch of SCVs, drones, or probes mining from it. As you can see here, this is an example of a saturated base. It's probably not worker capped. When I say capped, I just mean, you know, there's no SCVs going back and forth from the patches fighting over the minerals, so that's definitely indicates that there's too many there, but yeah, this would be an example of a saturated mineral field. Moving on now with this group of Hydralisks, infantry, Hellions, and siege tanks. My allies' forces are not upgraded at all, but he does have a pretty large number of units. I've got that one carapace upgrade on those Hydralisks as of now. So we are now in the northern team's territory. Going to be threatening their front door. My Terran ally is saying he needs sight here to be effective, so I'm going to try to provide that for him with his overseer. These Vikings are kind of sitting at the expansion. But right now we're pushing this front door. The siege tanks are wailing on these Hydralisks. This bunker with the Marauders inside are going to be doing a lot of damage. Bunker's up about half HP. A lot of Hydralisks are going down here, absorbing a lot of damage for these Terran players. Our siege tanks are now in play, going to be chipping away at these Hydralisks and Roaches, but the front door is now open, and the units are just full-on wailing on each other. Our numbers seem to be dwindling, however, as we really can't compete with this high ground advantage. This siege tank is going to try to unsiege and get away, but no, it falls to those pair of Zerglings. Muse's units now burrowing, popping back out to take down my Hydralisks. My Hydralisks are doing a pretty decent job, but yeah, they're going to notice that that siege tank is still there and pull back to try to preserve what numbers I have left. Looking briefly at units lost, it looks like we definitely got the short end of that stick. As you can see, we lost way more resources in that exchange than our enemies. But we do have a decent amount of expansions. I'm still operating off of this high yield expansion with Queen. This Queen needs to be using her larva a little bit more, though. I do have infestors now in play, so having that infestation pit in play means two things. It means you've got that tech for that enabling you to make infestors. I'm also getting that plus 25 starting energy on the infestors, but it also is your building that allows for hive tech. So it's like the new Queen's Nest in that sense. This group of infestors and Hydralisks are going to be meeting in the middle here, probably rallying to that point. And yeah, just I'm being true to the Zerg mentality right here. I want to keep the pressure on, I want to stay aggressive, and I want to just try to take down the opposition, to state the obvious there. Some Metalisks are now in play for Muse, so that's going to be a threat, although I do have tons of Hydralisks, so that maybe wasn't the best choice as far as the tech switch. So a couple of Thors, unupgraded Thors, are going to be meeting these Zerg forces, going to be meeting in the middle. Maybe they're going to intercept these expansions going up. These upgraded Zerglings are now joining in on the action. But now this siege tank with this missile turret accompanying it are going to get a free infestor kill as its guts just kind of spew all over the place. Right now I burrow these infestors, maybe trying to conceal them a little bit. But our units, both teams, are continuing to rally their forces to the middle as a big battle is going to take place here. These infestors can't go too close to the missile turret because it does offer detection, and yeah, the siege tank is going to spot these forces, but the infestors are going to get away pretty clean. These marines are going to chip away the siege tank. Down it goes. Now this point is pretty undefended. This overseer is going to get compromised a little bit, but yeah, it will survive. The infestors need to get some spells down. They need to make themselves useful. Right now they're just running away from these Zerglings. These Thors are in play, just shelling away these Hydralisks. One Thor going down. Bunch of infestors getting taken down. They do have a bunch of energy. They need to use it. They need to use this energy. Some fungal growth going down now on this small group of enemies, and that's going to seal the deal for these guys. They're taking 36 damage over a period of time in addition to DPS that's already been done to them. So now we've got these huge wave of reinforcements coming in for us. We're probably going to win the day as far as this middle ground. But there is one more siege tank in play. That's going to get sniped out pretty easy, getting a couple kills right there. Also in the, I believe this may have been recorded before the most recent patch, but I believe Hydralisks got nerfed. Well, regardless, I know for a fact that their HP was changed, so it's either 75 right now, or it might have been reduced from 90 to 80, but there was a change in the Hydralisk hit point number. My ally here is just going to take down these extractors. He doesn't want them to be used anytime again soon. Those javelin missiles making quick work of these Needless. The Needless can't really dent these Thors too much. And now we've got a pretty decent contain on the northern end here. They've got a bunch of air units, a large group of Banshees and Vikings. That's a threat, no question. But we do have these Hydralisks with caster unit support in addition to a few infantry units and 3 Thors. Some more infestors streaming in here, leaving their goo behind. But we do have a lot of units just rallying to the middle here. My ally now is operating off of 2 bases. Myself, I've got at least 1 more hatchery in production, a scan going down here on my main army. So their position is completely revealed. They also have a sensor tower, I think. Yeah, there it is. So there's the sensor tower tooltip. It's a radar that makes enemy unit presences known to your allies and yourself. So the Sado, the red Terran, is responding with some mech units of his own. They are not upgraded, but these siege tanks are now engaging, getting a lot of free hits on these Hydralisks. We need vision to be able to shoot back. There's the vision. Now these siege tanks are going down pretty quickly, and we're just ignoring this high ground and trying to do as much damage as we can. Some cloaked Banshees coming in with Needless support. I think, yeah, we do have detection. The Overseer is here. Let's see if we can take down these Banshees, but some infested Terrans now being created in desperation. They're going to be soaking up some damage as well as dealing damage. Lots of fungal growth on these enemies, including the air units. So air units do get affected by fungal growth. Taking a lot of damage there, but they're not dying. They're also focus firing these Thors pretty nice. And yeah, it looks like just with this sheer amount of static defense and Banshees with Cloak, they're able to live to fight another day. Sniping out that Infestor right quick, but yeah, these Banshees are forced to pull back. 1 remains with 48 HP. They cannot contend with these highly upgraded Hydralisks. Now some Vikings coming in, one-shotting that Overseer just to be a little bit annoying. And my allies saying, hey, let's continue to contain, we're in a good spot right now. Not a great spot, as you can see. We're scan going in there to clean up that last Banshee, but yeah, we're sitting on a high amount of minerals. We need to spend that a lot quicker. It is, yeah, you can see, well, Blue is actually really struggling with his mineral count. He's actually gas starved as well. He's got almost 3,000 minerals and very little gas, which is a big problem on Twilight Fortress. It is, in the sense, really a gas map. It's a gas heavy map, and if you can't get that gas, you're going to lose. This hatchery not being cancelled in time, these Vikings are going to clean that up. Just really getting our free hatchery killed, but I'm not too concerned. I don't think he's going to spot this high yield, and we are keeping at least a ground unit contained on the enemy's base. But my ally, being the cool guy that he is, he doesn't want these Vikings rolling around, or at least I thought he was going to come help out, but these Thors need to make sure that those Hellions go down first, and yeah, now they're going to help move in. In retaliation, I'm just throwing up another hatchery. I mean, I've got minerals to spare, why not? But these Vikings are going to help themselves to my high yield expansion. They're only going to meet 1 queen as resistance, but the queen seems to be holding them off pretty nice. These Vikings are choosing to attack this Overlord. But yeah,